Even if you're a Star Wars fan, the massive influx of new movies since Disney acquired Lucasfilm can seem daunting. There's the new trilogy, then the Rian Johnson trilogy, plus the standalone Star Wars stories, all of which fit between the original trilogy and the prequels in their own special ways. At this rate, it won't be long before the Cantina band gets its own spin-off. Actually, I want that. Are you listening, J.J. Abrams? Anyway, in case you need some help placing the next one in your space opera framework, here's a guide to Solo, a Star Wars story. As is the proper way of Star Wars movies, plot details are scarce and likely will remain so till the movie premieres, but this is the official synopsis. Board the Millennium Falcon and journey to a galaxy far, far away in Solo, a Star Wars story, an all-new adventure with the most beloved scoundrel in the galaxy. Through a series of daring escapades deep within a dark and dangerous criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian in a journey that will set the course of one of the Star Wars saga's most unlikely heroes. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy has described it as a heist, gunslinger-type movie, and said that Han needs to gain the respect of the people he interacts with, even if they're the lowest of the low. Alden Ehrenreich, who's playing Han, says the movie tells the story of a young man pursuing a dream to get out of his pretty rough upbringing, and a lot of the story is him trying to make this dream come true and finding out that it's a lot harder than he had imagined. Solo has dealt with a series of production problems, so there's a ton of skepticism around it despite the fact that it's about one of pop culture's most iconic heroes. Original directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller left the project in June 2017 because of creative differences, reportedly involving disagreements over the amount of humor in the movie. Ron Howard took over and announced in October that principal photography had been completed, but at least one major change took place. Michael K. Williams, who'd been cast as the crime lord Dryden Voss, couldn't make the reshoots scheduled by Howard, so his character was cut from the movie and replaced by a similar character played by Paul Bettany. As recently as January, there were rumors that more reshoots were taking place. That's all alarming, yes, but here's a fun fact: the movie was codenamed Red Cup during production, and some genius at Lucasfilm has parlayed that into an actual partnership with the Solo Cup brand. Beer pong is about to get so much more galactic. Han Solo, Alden Ehrenreich he's Han Solo. He made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. He's a scruffy-looking nerd herder. He's a scoundrel, but you like him because he's a scoundrel. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop. I just like nice men, okay? But to get back on topic, Alden Ehrenreich is 28, so this movie is obviously about a young Han Solo. Young Han Solo is still a smuggler, though. He also still looks very good in space pants. Lando Calrissian, Donald Glover played by Billy D. Williams in the original trilogy. Lando is a charming scoundrel who, like Han, is a smuggler and a great pilot. He likes to know his way in and out of any situation that he's in, Donald told Entertainment Weekly. Lando likes rules because he's somebody who is in a position to benefit from rules. But he's also good at finding loopholes, because that's a smuggler's livelihood. Gra, Emilia Clarke having not appeared in the original trilogy, Gra is something of a mystery, but Emilia says Gra and Han grew up as partners in crime. Though Emilia hasn't said exactly what Gra does, it's a safe bet that she's also involved in some shady dealings. Tobias Beckett, Woody Harrelson. Another new character, Tobias is a criminal who acts as a mentor to Han. He really shapes Han really more than anybody, says Ron Howard, as Han comes to realize that in a lawless time he needs to try to come to terms with some kind of moral code. Val, Thandie Newton-Val is a member of the crime family headed by Tobias, and according to screenwriter John Kasdan, she's initially skeptical of Han. Chewbacca, Jonas Suotamo. If you've made it this far, then you probably know who Chewbacca is. Original Chewbacca actor Peter Mayhew has retired from playing the character due to health issues, but he did appear in 2015's The Force Awakens. If you put Solo in a timeline of the movies based on the chronological order of the plots rather than the release dates, it takes place after the events of 2005's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, but before those of 2016's Rogue One, and Rogue One takes place directly before the events of 1977's Episode 4, A New Hope. According to an official timeline of Star Wars books, Solo takes place between the books Star Wars, Tarkin and Star Wars, A New Dawn. As The Hollywood Reporter points out, Tarkin is set 14 years before A New Hope while A New Dawn is set 11 years before it. This means Solo will take place sometime in that 3-year window. When Disney acquired Lucasfilm, the company made some controversial changes to what elements of the Star Wars expanded universe remain canon, but there's speculation that some parts of Han's EU story will make it into Solo. Stop reading now if you're afraid of potential, unconfirmed spoilers. In particular, there's a trilogy of novels by A.C. Crispin that includes a lot of Han backstory. In those books, Han is an orphan taken in by space pirates, and he goes to work for a criminal named Garrus Shrike. He later escapes and starts smuggling, tries to become a pilot for the Empire, then gives that up because nobody wants to work for the bad guys when you can be a rule-breaking scoundrel. He also meets Chewbacca in these books and wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando Calrissian in a game of Sabasi. Rebel Dawn, the last book in the trilogy, ends where Han's adventures start in A New Hope in the Mos Eisley Cantina, where Obi-Wan Kenobi hires him.